In a statement, UW-Madison says it doesn't believe the protests are connected to the termination of several international students and alumni, the termination of their visas. In this announcement released yesterday, UW-Madison said 6 current students and 7 alumni on employment visa extensions had their visas terminated. Earlier today, I spoke with UW professor Sarah McKinnon, who works with international students, about how this happened. Well, Professor McKinnon, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
The UW-Madison is one of just several schools throughout the country where the government has terminated these student and alumni visas. Do you have any idea why this is happening?
Yeah, I mean, it is not uncommon for students to receive revocations of their visas. This happens every once in a while when a student isn't not in compliance with their visa. What's different about this present moment is that across the United States, so many students have received this message so quickly. And so that, I think, is what makes this moment really exceptional. We know that these students are probably not in compliance in some way, but what that is very unclear at this point.
The university and Chancellor Mnuchin released a statement saying that the university doesn't believe the terminations had anything to do with recent protests, but said that the reasoning for this, as you were just saying, remains unclear. Do you have a gut feeling about what the reason for this is now?
I mean, I think what the reason is on paper may be different than what the reason is, the broader purpose of this. I think what we can probably say is that some of these students may have had brief brushes or run-ins with law enforcement at some point, which doesn't mean that they were arrested or convicted. It may be as simple as a traffic stop, running a red light, and then there being a citation. I think a lot of these instances are probably about that, but we're going to have to wait to see to get more information, and it's probably going to be a case-by-case basis about what exactly put this student in non-compliance. But I think what I can say in general is the way non-compliance is being interpreted by this administration is different than past administrations, and so that makes this moment very different. In past administrations, if a student had, was driving and driving too fast or ran through a red light, that would not make them eligible for having their visa being revoked. This is, I think, the moment that we're seeing that's really different.
Well, is there anything international students can do, and is there anything that the university can do?
I mean, I can speak to what I'm seeing across the universities in the United States. Many universities are reaching out to their international students to say, we are here, contact International Student Services to get more specific resources. So many of these instances, it's really a case-by-case basis, and so it's really hard to provide broad brushstrokes information, except to tell students to reach out to the International Student Services, who are really going to be their first point of contact for information about their situation. If a student has a real concern, they may reach out to an immigration lawyer to help them with their case. Those are things that can be helpful. But I have to say, I see a heightened sense of worry and anxiety and fear amongst my international students. Students are asking, should I leave the country, leave, and if I have a concern about this, or maybe I shouldn't leave the U.S. this summer to go home because, I fear being able to come back. And so there's just a lot of concern right now, which you might imagine we're almost at the end of finals, the final semester period. And so it just raises that level of anxiety even more for our students. I think it's important to also recognize that there are 1.1 million international students in the United States today, which accounts for about $40 billion to the U.S. economy annually. It's a really sizable amount of money that impacts the economy. And so to create that amount of fear, I think there are definitely students that are questioning, maybe I should explore other opportunities. And that's really sad. This means putting a barrier or making it more challenging for students to continue their education, which I find is really unfortunate.
Well, it's a fluid situation, as you said, and we'll continue to follow it very closely. Professor Sarah McKinnon, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. And one final note on this, UW-Madison is sending emails to its international students, reminding them of their rights. There are available resources on campus, and they're asking students to keep their immigration documents valid and updated. The end of the email reads in part, quote, "You are a valued member of our campus community, and we are committed to keeping you informed. We encourage you to bookmark the information provided in this message and seek resources as you need them."